everybody, welcome to my kitchen this morning. I'm very excited. Today is a soup day. It just seems like the weather calls for it, and I had some things in my refrigerator and in my freezer that I had already cooked and had left over, and so I'm going to be using that and make a big pot of homemade vegetable, and I'm going to call this vegetable beef soup because I'm going to be using some beef tips as the base of my soup. I'm going to be using the large pot behind me on my stove because I have lots of ingredients here and I don't want to use a small saucepan and it run over. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to bring you in and I'm going to talk to you and tell you exactly how I'm going to make it. A lot of people make soup using a ham bone, and that is my preferred. I love a good ham bone, but during the holidays I didn't buy a ham with a bone in it, so I don't have a ham bone this morning. So I'm reverting back to just a basic beef for stew, and that's what I'll be using. So let's get started and make this good homemade soup. Okay, before I get started this morning, I do want to tell you that you can make your soup any way you want to. Anything that you have in your refrigerator that you want to throw in there, or any canned goods that you want to put in there, well, you just feel free to do that, because I know that anything that's added is just going to make it that much more delicious. I'm going to start out by washing my beef tips, and I may cut this up a little bit smaller, and I'm going to cover it with water, and then I'm going to add a heaping tablespoon of this Better Than bouillon. This is roasted beef base, and that will just help to enhance the flavor of your broth. You want to be really careful when you use that and not add too much table salt, because the Better Than bouillon has a lot of sodium in it. I'm also going to, as I cook my meat, I'm going to add this celery. This is some that I had left over, and it's got the leaves on it, and I'm just going to throw this in the pot, and I'm also going to throw some onions in there, and I'm going to boil all of that together, enriching my broth as we go along. Once I get that done, I'm going to strain my broth. I like to call it cleaning my broth, and then I'm going to put it all in the big pot that you saw earlier. I'm going to bring it back to a boil, and then I'm going to start adding my other ingredients. I have some tomatoes here. I love a tomato-based soup, and you certainly want that in vegetable soup, or we do. I have some tomatoes here that I had canned or stewed down and frozen during the summer, so I'm going to use that. If you don't have any that you put up yourself, then you can use canned tomatoes. And then I had some peas and butter beans left over from the holidays, and I had just frozen those. These are already done, so they won't have to cook long. I'm going to add those. I'm going to add some onions and some celery. I've cut up a couple of potatoes that I'm going to be adding, and then I'm going to add, this is 1 can of whole kernel corn, so I'm going to put that in our soup. And then once all of this gets to boiling and I turn it down and let it simmer and stir it and smell it and work with it, then about 30 minutes, maybe 20 minutes before the soup is actually finished cooking and is done, I'm going to add some okra. And you'll remember from a video that you saw previously that Doug was helping me, and we froze some okra this summer. Well, I'm going to be adding this fresh okra. Now, a lot of people don't care for okra, so you don't have to add that, but we like it, and when I do add it, I add it last so that it won't overcook. So let's get started. I'm going to put this on the pot in the pot on the stove, and I'm going to get it started. And when I get it all put together and it's all ready to eat, then I'll come back and I'll show you what this wonderful soup is going to look like and what it's going to taste like. I wanted to bring you over to the stove and show you how our soup is looking. Yum! Doesn't that look good? I added more tomatoes into more tomato juice because we like a lot of tomatoes in ours. But I have all the ingredients. I've added the okra, added the potatoes, and I'm just going to let it continue to simmer for about another 30 minutes, and then our soup will be ready. So I'll talk to you again in a few minutes. Okay, it's lunchtime and our soup is ready to serve. Doug has already come by and tasted it, and he said it was delicious. So if my main man likes it, that means it's good soup. I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you'll make some vegetable beef soup really, really soon. And I hope you'll share our recipe. And I'll talk to you really soon. Have a good day.